Hello and welcome to another video. So today we are continuing with our previous year question solving of 2024 paper. So today we are starting with our applied mathematics section, which is section B2 in question paper. So without any delay, let's get started. So in question number 51, you are given a random variable x which have the following distribution. Okay, so you have the distribution table here. So here we know that the sum of the probabilities is always 1, right? So let's add up these probabilities. So you get 7k square plus 2k square plus k square. That gives you 10k square plus k 2k plus 2k 4k plus 2k 6k plus 3k 9k. So 10k square plus 9k should be equals to 1, right? So that means 10k square plus 9k minus 1 equals to 0. If you factorize this, you get 10k plus 10k minus k minus 1 equals to 0. So 10k if you take common, you get 1 plus k. Minus 1 you take common, you get 1 plus k equals to 0. So that means 1 plus k, 10k minus 1 equals to 0. Okay, so either you get k equals to minus 1 or you get k equals to 1 over 10. But k cannot be equals to minus 1. Why? Because k is the probability when x equals to 1. So probability cannot be negative. So k has to be 1 over 10. So the value of k is matching with option 3. So A matches with 3. So first option and second option, these two are incorrect. So let's start with C. Okay, what is the probability that x is greater than 2? So how do we find probability x greater than 2? So what we can do is 1 minus probability of x equals to 1 and then minus probability x equals to 2. So 1 minus when probability x equals to 1, it is k. 1 minus probability x equals to 2, it is 2k. So that gives you 1 minus 3k and k equals to 1 by 10. We have already found out k. So that means 1 minus 3 by 10 gives you 7 by 10. So C matches with 1. Okay, so C matches with 1 in option number 4. So option 3 must be incorrect, right? So we have discarded 3 options and 4th option is correct. Moving on to the next question, question number 52. So here you have a list of functions, here you have the list of derivatives and you have to match ups. Okay, so what is the derivative of an exponential function? Because in all of these you have the exponential function, right? 5 to the power x is an exponential function. So n to the power x is n to the power x into log n, right? So here instead of n you have 5. So what is the derivative of 5 to the power x? So derivative of 5 to the power x will be 5 to the power x times log 5 with base e. Okay, so it matches with 2. So D matches with 2. So only in one option D matches with 2, right? Only in option 4 D matches with 2. Here B is a constant, right? There is no involvement of x, so the derivative must be 0. So B matches with 4 and then you can find out the other two. Okay, so the rest of the two also matches in option 4. Okay, let's do question number 53 now. Which one of the following purpose is CAGR not used? Okay, to calculate and communicate the average growth of a single investment, yes, it is used for this. To understand and analyze the donation received by NGO, no, this is not the one. Okay, so he's asking not used, means this is the correct option, but this is not a purpose of CAGR. Okay, so 53, the option 2 is correct. In question number 54, a flower vase cost rupees 36,000. Annual depreciation is 2,000. The cost will be 6,000 in how many years? Okay, so the total depreciation charge is from 36,000 to 6,000, right? So depreciation charge, total depreciation charged equals to rupees 36,000 minus 6,000. That means rupees 30,000, right? So total depreciation charge is rupees 30,000 and the per annum depreciation, per year depreciation is 2,000. So what are the number of years? So number of years is given by 30,000 divided by 2,000. So that gives you 15. So option 2 must be correct answer for this question. Moving on to question number 55. Arun's speed of swimming in still water is 5. Okay, we denote this by x. He swims 2 points between a river and returns back to the same starting point. Okay, so the distance is constant throughout. It took 20 minutes more. Okay, the time difference is 20 minutes between upstream and downstream. Okay, so if it is given in kilometers per hour, so let's convert 20 to hours. So it becomes 20 by 60 hours, or you can write 1 by 3 hour. Okay, and the speed of stream is 2. So y is given as 2. What is the distance between 2 points? So let the distance be d. So here distance is missing. So what is the time calculated when you're going downstream? Okay, so time calculated in downstream is given by distance upon speed. What is the speed of downstream? It is x plus y. And this time is 20 minutes lesser than. So if you add 20 by 60 or 1 by 3, so if you add 1/3, so you get the time of upstream, right? Because it was 20 minutes gap. Okay, so time of upstream is given by distance upon speed. So distance upon x minus y. So what is x? What is y? X is 5, y is 2. So d by 7 plus 1 by 3 equals to d by 5 minus 2, which is 3. So d by 3 minus d by 7 equals to 1 by 3. So if you solve this, you get 7d minus 3d equals to 1 by 3. So that means D equals to 7 upon 4, which is 1.75. So option 3 must be the correct answer for this question, right? After solving, we get D equals to 1.75. I hope this is correct. I hope this solution makes sense. Let's move on to question number 56. You are given an equation in x and y, and then he's asking about double derivative. So let's take log both sides because you are given x in the powers. So that gives you log e to the power y equals to log of x to the power x. That means y equals to x log x. So y equals to x log x. That means if I differentiate both sides, I get y dash equals to 1. So here we'll use the product rule. What is the product rule? So first you differentiate x, that gives you 1, log x as it is. Then you differentiate log x, you get 1 over x, and then x as it is, product rule. So that gives you 1 plus log x. Okay. So what is y dash minus 1? It is just log x. Okay, but what was log x? Okay. So then if I differentiate again both sides, so I get y double dash equals to 1 over x, right? The derivative of log x with respect to x is 1 over x. Now, we need y double dash into y, right? Okay, so let's multiply y both sides. So I get y double dash equals y over x. But the given equation says y over x is log x. Okay, so y over x is log x. So this means this is equals to log x. Okay, but this condition here, what is the value of log x? Log x has the value y dash minus 1. So if I now shift these two terms on the left side, what I get is y into y double dash minus y dash plus 1 equals to 0, which is option 4, right? So option 4 is the correct answer for this question. Okay, moving on to question number 57. The question of probability. The probability of a shooter hitting a target is 4 by 3. Okay. So what is the probability of missing the target? It will be 1 minus 3 by 4, which is 1 over 4. So it says how many number of times, so n is missing, he must fire so that the probability of hitting at least once. So how do we find at least once? So probability of hitting at least once we calculate as 1 minus probability of hitting none of the targets, right? And it is more than 90%. So it is greater than 90%, or you can write 0.9. So 1 minus probability of hitting none means you have missed all the targets, right? And what is the probability of missing the target is 1 by 4. So if you miss n targets, you have to multiply 1 by 4 n times. So multiply 1 by 4 n times. And this is greater than 0.9. 90% is 0.9. So that means 1 minus 1 by 4 to the power n is greater than 0.9. That means 1 minus 0.9, that is 0.1, is greater than 1 by 4, or you can write 0.25 to the power n. Now he is asking you what is the minimum number. So we need n to be smallest. Okay, so what if n equals to 1? That does not hold true. Okay, what if n equals to 2? That will give you 0.25 square, which is 0.0625, and it is evident that it is less than 0.1. So yeah, the number of targets will be 2. So option 2 will be the correct answer for this question. Moving on to question number 58. So here you have a list 1, here you have a list 2. So you have to match up with the definitions. So the distribution of a sample leading to a normal distribution. This is the definition of central limit theorem. So A matches with 1. So option 4 is the incorrect answer. Some subset of entire population is called a sample. So B matches with 3. So here option 3 is the incorrect answer because B matches with 3. Option 1 is also incorrect. So option 2 must be the correct answer for this question. So simple definition based question. Let's move to question 59. So Miss Sheila creates a fund for this much rupees for providing scholarship to needy children. Okay. The scholarship is provided in the beginning of the year. Okay. And it earns an interest of R% per annum. So the amount of scholarship is 8,000. So this is the case of perpetuity, and that perpetuity is happening in the beginning of the year. So what is the formula? P equals to R plus R over I. What is I? I is R over 100, right? Okay. And what is R here? R is 8,000, the regular payment. What is P here? The present value, which is 1 lakh rupees. So P is 1 lakh. So this implies 1 lakh equals to 8,000 plus 8,000 upon R divided by 100. So that means 92,000 equals to 8,000 into 100 divided by R. So that means zeros cancel. 25, 4 into 23. So R is 200 divided by 23%, which simplifies to 816 by 23%. Okay. So option 2 will be the correct answer for this question. I hope this solution is understandable, easy. Let's move to question number 60. A person wants to invest an amount. Okay. So here you have an amount of 75,000. You have two options, which gives you 8% and 9% return. Okay. And he plans to invest at least 15,000 in A. Okay. And at least 25 in B. He wants his investment in plan A. Okay. Plan A is less than or equal to plan B. Okay. So which of the following describes the best? Where X and Y are investments in plan A and plan B. Okay. So it is X and Y. Okay. So here you have investment in plan A, X is less than or equal to. So X is less than or equal to investment in B, which is Y. So for one of the constraints should be X less than equal to Y. So here you have the constraint, here you have this constraint. Option 3 does not have this constraint, so option 3 is discarded. And what about option 4? Yes, option 4 has the same constraint. So one option is discarded. He wants to invest at least 15,000. So X must be at least 15,000. So X is greater than equal to 15,000 and Y should be greater than equal to 25,000. So these two constraints must be there. So X is greater than equal to, Y is greater than equal to. So it says Y is less than equal to. So option 2 is incorrect. So now we are left with option 1 and 4. Okay. So let's move to this first line. He wants to invest an amount of 75,000. So the amount cannot exceed 75,000, right? So X plus Y should be less than or equals to 75,000, which is not in option 1. So option 1 must be incorrect. Option 4 is correct answer for this question. Okay. So other 3 options are discarded. Next, moving on to question number 61. So you have a 700 meter race. Okay. So here you have the starting point, finishing point, and it is 700 meters. So this distance is 700 meters. Amit reaches the finishing point. So let's say if finishing point is here, Amit has reached here in 20 seconds and Rahul reaches in 25. So Rahul is far behind. So Rahul is here and it takes Rahul 5 more seconds, right? Because the time difference is 5 seconds, right? So it takes Rahul 5 more seconds to reach the finishing line. Amit beats Rahul by a distance. So we need to find the distance between the Rahul and finishing line. Okay. So let's find the distance. What is the speed of Rahul? Speed of Rahul. So Rahul's speed is distance upon time. Distance is 700 meters. Time. Rahul takes 25 seconds. So here we have the speed of Rahul. Now what is the distance between Rahul and finishing line? So distance, required distance is speed into time. So you have the speed of Rahul 700 by 25 and he traveled for 5 seconds, right? So when you divide this, you get 140 meters. So the final answer for this question is option number 3. An easy question from numerical quantifications. Okay, next move to question number 62. You have the 5 values. You need to find 3-year moving average. Okay, so 3-year moving average. So first you take the average of first 3 numbers. Okay, so what is the average of 12, 15, 18? So it is 12 plus 15 plus 18 divided by 3. So you have the first average is 15. So in all the option you have 15. Next you take the average of next 3 excluding the first one. So 15 plus 18 plus 24 divided by 3. What you get is 5 plus 6 plus 8. 8 plus 5 is 13 plus 6, 19. So second one should be 19. So first 2 options are incorrect. Let's find the last one. So the last 3 moving average is 18 plus 24 plus 36 divided by 3. So if you divide by 3, you get 6 plus 8 plus 12, which you get 26. So option 4 is incorrect. Option 3 must be the correct answer. So an easy question from index numbers and time series, right? Where you have to find moving averages. Okay, now let's move to question number 63. A property dealer wishes to buy different houses in the given table with the down payments and the price. Okay, so you have the price of the property, you have the down payment. So the difference should be the amount of loan, right? So let's find the amount of loan first. 45 lakhs minus 5 lakhs gives you 40 lakhs. Okay, so first P take the loan of rupees 40 lakhs. Q took loan of rupees 50 lakhs, right? So 55 lakhs minus 5 lakhs is 50 lakhs. Next, R took the loan for rupees 55 lakhs. And then finally 75 minus 50 is 60 lakhs. Okay, so these are the loans taken by the person or the property taken for the property type P, Q, R and S. Okay, he has given you this factor which is 0064. So what is the so here we need to calculate the EMI amount. Okay, so what is the formula for EMI? So EMI formula is P times 1 plus R raised to the power n into R divided by 1 plus R raised to the power n minus 1, right? So this is the formula for EMI. Okay, so what is R here? R is 6 by 12% because you need to calculate monthly charges, right? So then you have to divide by 12. So R is 0.005. And what is N here? What is the number of installments? So you have the installments for 25 years. So what is the number of installments? 25 into 12, that is 300. So this is already given, right? So this factor here is already given. So you just have to multiply P by 0.0064. So you just have to multiply this by P. So you need to multiply every number by 0.064. So what is 40 lakhs into 0.0064? So that gives you 25,600, which matches with 1. Then what is 50 lakhs into 0.0064? So what is 50 lakhs into 0.0064? So that gives you 32,000 rupees. So Q matches with 3. So P matches with 1, Q matches with 3. So A matches with 1 in 3 options. So this is incorrect. B matches with 3 only in option 2, right? So rest other options are incorrect. So basic question from financial mathematics. Okay, moving on to the next question, question number 64. The corner points of a feasible region. Okay, you have the corner points. You have the objective function also. You need a condition on alpha and beta so that maximum occurs at 5, 5 and 0, 20. So you need to put these points here. So what if I put 5, 5 instead of x and y? So I get 5 alpha plus 5 beta. Okay, so I have 5 alpha plus 5 beta, and that is equal to, what if I put 0, 20 here? So instead of x I put 0, instead of y I put 20. So that gives me 20 beta. So if I solve this equation, I get 5 alpha equals to 15 times beta, or you get alpha equals to 3 times beta, which is option number 3. So an easy question from LPP, straightforward calculation, gives you the answer. Let's talk about question number 65 now. So here you have an inequality. Okay, so if I notice, so I can take 3 common from both the sides and I can cancel out. So that gives me 3 times mod x greater than equals to 3 times 2 minus x, and 3 cancels out. So finally I have mod x is greater than equals to modulus of 2 times minus x. Okay, so I need to solve this inequality. So if I have options, so I can just jump into the options and put the values. Okay, so that is the simplest way to solve inequalities in the equation paper. So what if I put 0? Because in the first option, minus infinity to 1, you have 0 option. So what if I put 0? So that is that true or not? 0 is greater than equal to 2. No, that is false. So 0 does not satisfy this. Okay, included here, 0 is included here. These two options are incorrect. Also, 0 is included here. In minus 1 to infinity, you have 0. So this option also must be incorrect. So option 2 is the only correct answer. So that's how you need to solve this inequality in the question paper. Moving on to question number 66. If this matrix is skew symmetric, okay, a matrix is skew symmetric. So that means the diagonal entries must be 0, right? So that means y should be 0. So you have the value of y as 0. And then what is the value of 3x? It should be negative of minus x. So here you have 3x equals to minus of minus x. Or that means x should be 2. Okay, so I have x equals to 2, y equals to 0. And then I need to find 5x minus y. So what is 5x minus y? That is 5 times 2 minus 0. That is 10. So option 3 must be the correct answer for this question. An easy question from matrices. Okay, moving on to the next question. Question number 67. A company is selling a certain commodity X. The demand function for the commodity is linear. Okay, so the demand function is linear. So let's say the demand function is given by P equals to A plus BX. This is a linear function. Then you have the data. 2000 units are sold when price is 8. So put this data in the demand function. So instead of P, I can put 8. Instead of X, I can put 2000. Question I get is 8 equals to A plus 2000 B, right? And the second equation I get is, so when you sell 3000, the price is 4 per unit. So we get the equation 4 equals to A plus 3000 B. Now these are two linear equations. I can just subtract and get the values of A and B. So 4 equals to minus 1000 B. So that gives us B equals to minus 1 by 250. So we have the value of B. Okay. If I put it back, so I get 8 equals to A minus 2000 into 1 by 250. So that cancels and gives us 8. So A must be 16. So you have the value of A and B. So finally you have P equals A, which is 16 plus B times X. So B is 1 minus 1 by 250 times X. Then you need to find marginal revenue. Okay, we need to find marginal revenue. So first find the revenue function. What is the revenue function? It is P times X. So when I multiply P by X, I get 16 times X minus X square over 250, right? So I have the revenue function. So now I have the revenue function and I need marginal revenue. How do we find marginal revenue? So marginal revenue is just the derivative of revenue function. Okay, so I need to differentiate revenue. So what is the revenue function? It is 16x minus x square by 250. So derivative of 16x is 16. And the derivative of x square is 2x over 250. So that cancels and give me 1 over 25, 125. So then he's asking you to find marginal revenue at x equals to 5. I need to put x equals to 5 here. So that means 16 minus 5 over 125. So that means 5, 125. So minus 1 by 25. So that means 16 minus 0.04. And that gives us 15.96, option 2, which is a correct answer for this question. So yeah, this was a bit lengthier question, although easy, but a bit lengthier in terms of calculation. So we have done up to question number 67. So we'll wrap here today. So the remaining questions we'll solve in another video. Till then, keep practicing and I'll see you in another video. Take care.